Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update on Litecoin. And for this video, guys, all we're going to do is look at Litecoin. I'm just going to freestyle with you a little bit. Didn't get to plan anything ahead of time. Very busy today, but I wanted to just talk to my Litecoin people here and kind of show them what I saw was going on. Guys, if you like these videos, you like Litecoin updates, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let me know down below what you're thinking about Litecoin. Guys, is the trend changing, or are we just going to get dropped back down and set another basically lower low is what I want to know from you guys. So we're going to look at all this. We're going to look at trend lines. I'm going to freestyle a little here with you. If you like these, let me know, guys. Appreciate it. All right, so guys, what we were noticing here and what we're going to start out with, so basically I just really wanted to look at price action and trend lines first. We'll add on moving averages, we'll look at support and resistance, we'll do all that type of stuff, some of the indicators. But right now I just really wanted to look at price action and looking at these trends and how they change. So guys, what we were looking at here in green, this is basically our downtrend that we were looking at for probably about 2 months. You can see we were having lower highs and lower lows coming in. And what happened was we finally broke out of this trend line, and we ended up going up about 14% to the wick. I measured it probably about 2 or 3 days ago, guys, and I remember it was around 14% to the top here. And what happened was, we talked about this before, that you can actually have a pullback almost back onto this trend line before you eventually move higher. So that's definitely something. But you can see right there how we broke out. We saw some rejection, and now we're starting to fall back down. And what happened here was we didn't have a trend line break on very heavy volume. You can see the volume down here, what it looks like. The reason why I have this trend line up, guys, this was the trend line we looked at for a very long time. When it broke, it was very significant. And I wanted to point this out to you. Take a look at this candle when it broke, and take a look at the volume down here. It was very heavy volume, so that was a true trend line break. Even though we fell down and we had a pullback up into the trend line, we tweezer topped and then started dropping back down. And what happens is you get these reactions where you start moving up and then you'll drop back down. You can see the trend line I have here. We started moving sideways again like we're doing now, and then eventually we just dropped back down and broke again. And now what we're looking at is this trend line that's forming on the short term, this one right here. I want to see if that trend line ends up being broken, if we're going to actually come back and back test this green line, or if we're going to start dropping down below support, which is going to be at $62 there. So I'm going to start putting in lines as we go, just so I show you how I do this. So right here would be our support, and I'll put that in green. So we'll see if we do start breaking down through there, if we can find support again at that area, which would be a key spot. We'd want to see a bounce off that. And guys, what I want to point to you, or point out as well, is everything's going to be correlated to Bitcoin, in my opinion, right now. If Bitcoin has a massive dump, then most likely it's going to pull the markets down with it. I know there's some coins that may separate a little bit, but overall, if Bitcoin starts blasting up, you can see a lot of love as well in the altcoins, and that's just my opinion right now. So I'm watching Bitcoin as well. So I'm watching the price action of Litecoin, but I know that the price action of Litecoin can change at any minute depending on what Bitcoin does. That's what I wanted to put out there to you guys. So now what we're looking at is see if we start breaking down through this trend line here, guys. It's going to be very significant. I want to start clearing stuff off and starting to look at moving averages as well. So remember, when we have those trend line breaks, big strong candle there on volume, that has pushed us all the way to the downside here. It was that break. And now what we're looking at is see if this break could be as significant, but it's not on that type of volume right now. So what we would need to see is heavy volume once we find a higher low here to try to get back up and make a higher high than that $80 that we hit. We wicked up to off the real bodies. It was around $78 was the high that we got up to. So we're going to have to power back up and try to get a higher high over top of that. It's going to be very important for us to do that, guys. And we'll get rid of this one here. And what I want to do is work up our support and our resistances. Okay, so now resistance wise, as we continue to go up, guys, I would look at this area here, $101. We'll make it red. That's going to be an overhead resistance area. Next area I would look at, it's probably going to be around, trying to find the most touches, guys, is what you want to find and see. You know what, I would probably look around that area right there, around that 79.44 is going to be the next area that we would have to get over top, and that's going to be that area as well. And then we can get up in here, and this is kind of a cluster, guys. As you can see, there's a lot of sideways movement, so that could be a block of overhead resistance there as well that we'd want to keep our eye out on. But the first immediate one we want to get up over is that 79.44. Then we have the potential, you know, to even break out, see if we could hit $89, $90, then up to that 100. But what we want to do is throw on some moving averages now and take a look at it and see what the moving averages, or basically they're going to capture the trend, see what they're telling us. We're going to start with the 12 EMA, and this is going to be in orange. I'm going to zoom in for us, and you'll see that some of these moving averages are probably going to land pretty close to this overhead resistance. So right there, we now, guys, yesterday we closed up above still the 12 EMA. Today we are losing it. We have not had our close yet. Our close is going to be 8 p.m. Eastern time. And guys, right now it's 3:36 p.m. Eastern time. It's September 22nd, 2019. The next one we're going to go for is the 26 EMA. 26 EMA, same deal here. You can see we're below it today, so we're going to have to see if we get bought back up, so we can try to make another move off this trend line and try to get up over that 79, or if we're just going to start breaking down and falling through it. It's going to be very important here, guys. Next one's going to be our 50 moving average. Right here, that's going to be at $74.87. That could act as overhead resistance, and then our 200. And you can see our 200 now, that's going to be the big daddy. We have to get back above. We've been trading below it for quite a while now. So as we're trying to change the trend in the short term here, our next higher high most likely would need to take us up above this 200-day moving average. And that's going to be another tough spot, and that's going to be at 82.64. So I wanted to point that out there to us, or for us. But you know, guys, when you're looking at these things, you want to look to where these moving averages are landing. If they're landing at a tough spot like we'd have here to get over, you know, this is a pretty tough area, but it almost looks like maybe this could be one of those ascending triangles for us. We're having higher lows. If we don't break this here, we have that flat top of resistance, and maybe that's enough to break us up out of here. And if we do break up out of there, then we could get up to around that $100 range. But you always want to be prepared for the upside and the downside, and be prepared and have a plan for what you're going to do, and say, okay, if we start breaking down through this trend line, do I think, you know, $61 is going to hold? Is that going to be an area where I potentially could look for a bounce? And what you'd want to see is, if it does make it to that area, you'd want to have some type of bullish candlestick pattern form on that support with high volume. That's what you'd be looking for, guys. And you know, as you go down, when you're looking at support, you go to the next area, you know, maybe around $50, $43, there's some support, $39. You know, anything can happen in this space, and that's where people go, oh, you can say it goes up or down. Yes, that's technical analysis, guys. You want to put the trend in your favor. That's what you want to do, the trend in your favor and the odds in your favor. So when people say, oh, yeah, it could go up or down, you're exactly right. Or it could go sideways, but I'm going to have a plan for if it goes up, and where my targets are going to be, and what indicators I'm going to use to jump in. It's having a battle plan. You know, that's one of the things that I guess is the craziest to me, when people go, oh, well, you say it goes up or down. Read all about technical analysis, guys, in all the books, and I know many people who read them here. We don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you which way Bitcoin's going to break, but I have a plan if it moves to the upside, and I have a plan if it moves to the downside, and I'm going to try my best to make profit when it makes that move. That's what you're looking to do, because in this space, it's the most volatile space in the world. There's massive swings, so swing trading them is amazing. And when you start looking at different things and you can see patterns forming, then just try to put the odds in your favor, and if you're wrong, get out quick and look for something else. That's what it is. Next, we'll look at a couple indicators. Let's go to our stock RSI. Stock RSI, guys, we had our bearish cross here. We're just moving to the downside right now. We're at 41.63, so we have not stopped and started to curl back up yet. So that's another sign that we may break down through this trend line here. So we'll keep an eye on that. That's more bearish. Next one we'll go to is our relative strength index. Relative strength, we're more so just pointing straight down right now. We're at 47, guys. We're going to look to see if we can set a higher low on the RSI and then make that higher high. But we need to find some support basically right where we're at right now at about 47. You can see where we would have had some area if I put a horizontal line on here for you. You guys, let me know down low if you like this freestyling where we just come on here and almost kind of live stream in a way, just show you what I'm looking at and talk to you and everything, as opposed to having, because typically I'll have everything written out of what I'm seeing, this or that, and I'll go through it with you. But if you like this as well from time to time where we just get on here and do this together, let me know. And also, if you'd want to do a live stream sometime, let me know. Kind of say yes or no on the live stream. I've never done one before, so it'd be something interesting, but I'm not the best with technology and computers, I'll be honest with you, and all that type of stuff. So we'll do what we can do, but I try my best for y'all. But basically what we need to see here is support at around that 50 or so, and we're a little below it now. We're at 47.57. Then guys, we'll throw on, let's go, our Bollinger Bands. And with our Bollinger Bands, guys, we look to have support at our middle band, which is going to be at $70, $70.85. And then you can see how we got outside the bands here, and that started to cause that sell-off right there. So these bands, they can be very valuable for you for oversold or overbought conditions. They can really help. You can see down in here where we started to touch the lower bands, and then we had a little relief rally. And sometimes you just have a little rally up to the middle band, then you'll fall back down. Like right here, we set a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We're hoping to set a higher low here and then see what we do, guys. But you know, it's all up in the air right now. I want to know what you guys think. You know, I feel like right now Litecoin's just kind of waiting around for Bitcoin to see what it's going to end up doing here, because with Bitcoin, you know what, let me click over there real quick, guys. With Bitcoin, we are just so tight. I mean, this is unbelievable. You guys, I'm sorry, I have my computer fan going right now. We've been going through a lot of charts and stuff. She's revved up right now. But you can see this doji. This is an absolute fight between the bulls and the bears right there. That is as classic as it can get as a fight back and forth. So we're just going to have to see which way she breaks, guys. You let me know down below what you think. Like, subscribe, guys. Hit that notification bell. Appreciate you all being here with me today. Leave it down low.